Hello everyone, this is Tim, and I'm going to go through some of the one-shots I plan to run at GASPCON. That's going to be a convention that's in November. My local gaming club puts it up once a year, and I'm always excited to go there, and I always run like a lot of RPGs. I think I'm planning on running 7 this year, and I tried to run 7 last year and actually got 6 off. I got players for 6 of them, so they usually are pretty well received. People tend to have a good time and have fun. If I'm lucky enough, I'll get people, laughing, crying from laughter, or just talking to me after the game and saying, "Wow, I didn't expect that at all," or "That was really great. Can you, tell me more about the system or the setting?" And sometimes I have pretty good conversations afterwards, so that's cool. So I'm just going to go through and describe the one-shots, and feel free to steal any of these and use them yourself in the future. Okay, the first game is going to be using Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, and I'm going to be using the Eye of Pain module. And I'm just going to describe what it's about. Inside the woods near Burke's Crossing lurks a very real danger. It began as a sense of unease, a feeling of being watched. But now people are disappearing. The lumberjacks who have stayed in the little village talk of ghosts and other superstitions. Or at least they did, until a mysterious statue appeared in a clearing near the logging camp. As if matters weren't strange enough, 2 mages have arrived, and they have began hiring armed guards to escort them into these very same woods. Is there a connection, or is it just coincidence? And that's actually a TSR module, and that's basically just the blurb right off the back. I've ran that before. I think I've talked a little bit about that in previous videos. I ran that for another convention, so I figure, might as well just run the same one. I have it all pretty much prepped, and less work for me. Okay, the next game is going to be using BRP, and the title is Devil Gut Rock, and I found this in the one-page dungeon. It was like a download that I saw a link for, and there was a lot of interesting ones in there, and I wanted this one to kind of rose to the top, I guess, because it mixes Western themes and fantasy themes. Under a harsh blue sky lies a massive red sandstone rock, venting volcanic vapor. It has the shape and color of a giant mound of steaming guts spilled onto the Badlands. Over several months, the town of Long Farm has had cases of bloodless livestock dead in pasture, and now several villagers have gone missing recently. Canine and humanoid tracks lead towards the wasteland and Devil Gut Rock. And like I said, it's sort of like a like dungeon crawling cowboys, I guess. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. If I get creative, I might go buy some of those like really cheap, cowboy guns. I think hats might be too expensive, unless I get those little cheap like plastic ones. I think just as little props. I think that might be fun for people. All right, the next game is going to also be using BRP, and I did a short video about this that I'll link below. It's going to be titled Thrash Metal Superheroes of the Pocalypse. And this should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to running this. And here's the blurb I wrote up. On January 13th in 1991, just 3 months after Megadeth's Rust in Peace album was released, Russia unloaded all of their nuclear arsenal on the United States. Reagan retaliated by launching all of the missiles he could. The prophet David Mustaine survived the apocalypse and gathered unto him as many headbanging metal enthusiasts as he could. He led them to his secret ex-military bunker where he kept a torch of double bass pedal civilization burning. It has been hundreds of years of epic thrash metal, but the bunker is now depleted of energy for the guitar distortion and amps. An elite group of heavy metal superheroes heads off into the wasteland to find the mysterious god of lightning. And I think I'm going to have lots of metal references, Metallica lyrics, Megadeth lyrics, that sort of stuff. It should be a lot of fun. I was debating about having the pre-generated characters be clones of metal, band members. Not really sure if I'm going to do that yet or not. I still, I have a few more months to think about it. But it should be a lot of fun. I think people will enjoy that. And one small clarification. Black Barnes had mentioned before, it's like, oh, wait, what are you talking about? You got your dates mixed up. How's Reagan still, in power? And I just explained to him that this is, a very gonzo, wacky setting and it's definitely an alternate history. So things changed, different presidents got in at different times, and that's why Reagan was still in power. Alright, the next game is going to be Barbarians of Lemuria, and I think I'm just going to use the free version. I don't think I'm going to use the published one, because I want people to be able to generate characters really quickly at the table. This will be my exception to the rule. Normally I have pre-generated characters for everything, but for Barbarians of Lemuria it's very easy, just crank out characters real quick. It's going to be called The Writhing God. Trapped and hungry, with no place to go but up from the dungeons where they find themselves, a group of prisoners lurk closer and closer to the sleeping thing that their captor worships. Will they be the sacrifice or perform deicide on their captor's unwholesome god? And I think that'll be fun. It's sort of like a reverse dungeon crawl where they're trying to escape instead of get into it. So I've done that once or twice before, and it's been fun. Alright, and the next game is going to be Empire of the Petal Throne in the Tekumel setting. And I'm going to be using the Empire of the Petal Throne rules. The Temple of Sarku, who's the god, the master of the undead, has hired a bunch of refugees and mercenaries that have recently arrived in the city of Jakala from one of the nearby barbarian kingdoms. A priest has recently deciphered an ancient scroll that tells of a powerful artifact that could be used against the rival Yankor Empire to the north. And your group has been hired to find it. And in this game, I'm going to have the group be proponents of change. That's sort of the alignment. You know, it's basically stability versus change, or law versus chaos, I guess you could use. Good versus evil to a lesser extent. And this is the first time I've ever done a dungeon like this. In the Tekumel setting, every so many years they just raise the entire city and build upon it again. So there are layers and layers of ancient city ruins underneath your feet. So what I did was I found a city map, and I just opened up in Paint and just started filling in buildings with brown, like dirt, and then excavating it with an eraser, the paint eraser, a little square, just to sort of make tunnels and open up rooms and such. And it's a really cool map to look at, and it was the first time I've ever done something like that, so that's cool. It'll be interesting. This will be my first time running Empire of the Petal Throne, or just running any game in the Tekumel setting. So I'm a little nervous, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. The next game is going to be Lord of the Rings adventure game, which is the red box with the Eowyn cover with the Witch King. It was put out by ICE a long time ago. I haven't ran it since I probably was like 8 or 9, maybe 10. It's been a long time. And I was thinking about running a Middle-earth themed one-shot. And while I was thinking about running MERP, I looked at some of the modules that I had, and nothing really jumped out at me. So I opened up the red box, and way back when we had bought 2 additional adventure modules. I think Over the Misty Mountains Cold and Darker Than the Darkness. And I like that one, so I'm going to run Darker Than Darkness. And here's the blurb for it. Let's see here. It's basically like a rules-light game that I really liked, and I just went with it. On the downs southeast of Bree, you must defeat a dreaded force or face a fate worse than death. Then challenge the bandit king who rules the Great East Road. It's a pretty standard, straightforward game, and it has a module for it, so that's also less work that I have to do. I never really stick completely with a module. I like to add things to it, so I'm going to go through and find things that I could spice it up. And of course, players always throw you, a wrench in the system, so I'm perfectly fine with that. That makes it more interesting for me. Okay, and the last one-shot I'm going to try to run is going to be in the Midnight setting, which is a D20 setting that was put out by Fantasy Flight Games, and I'm going to be using the Novus RPG rule set. Now, I playtested Novus, and I liked it a lot. There are still a few things that I would tweak, maybe like 1 or 2 house rules, but otherwise it's a lot of fun, especially for a system that, like if I'm looking for a skill system, it's pretty nice. And here's the, I'll put details down below. Here's the blurb. You and your fellow legates, evil priests, need to rout out and find whoever has been killing off the highest leaders within the Order of Shadow. You can use whatever methods you deem fit to complete the task. One-legged has died every day for the last 3 weeks. To be assaulted in the heart of Isildur's domain, Theros Obsidia, itself, is unheard of. It must be put to an end, or you will be. And there was a splat book for Theros Obsidia. I think it's City of Shadow, and I'll be using that with for some ideas, just to have some NPCs on the ready. I've always enjoyed Midnight. Lately, I tend to enjoy evil campaigns set in Midnight because while if you're good, you're playing freedom fighters. If you're bad, you're sort of within the power structure itself, and players realize pretty quickly that it's not unified. There's definitely camps and factions, and what might look like it's all one big evil empire from the outside isn't what it appears to be. And I always like that, bringing that up to my players and showing them. So those are the games I'm going to be running. Hopefully they're interesting to the players. Hopefully I get a bunch of people to come to the convention. If you're, again, interested in coming, all the details down below. Pittsburgh, PA in November. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later.